through the years, our pantry has ebbed and flowed with the time, what's going on. When the kids were little, it was absolutely imperative that I kept the pantry like granny. I mean, because they had to eat every day, 2-3 times every day. So I shopped sales, I shopped 2 or 3 stores at a time. I made sure that we always had what we needed. If I got home late from work, I didn't have to stress about what I could make because I could just go in the pantry, I could go find something to throw together for dinner. Might not have been the greatest thing, but it would have been something. And my kids never went to bed hungry, ever. I don't know how we did it without any kind of help but we did. We made it. Well, as they got older and I got less kids at home, then my pantry kind of shrunk I was down to 2 kids, and then my oldest son brought me home a grandson. So I only had my 2 youngest and my grandson. So, pantry shrunk a little more. Then that was around, I got my grandson in 2001 or 2002, early 2002. Well, I kept just a very minimal pantry. We could go out to eat if we wanted to. We were both doing really good in our job. Money wasn't an issue or a problem. And if we wanted to go spend $200 for dinner, hey, we went and spent $200 for dinner. It wasn't a big deal. Then 2008 hit, and by 2010, we were struggling. And my brain got like some kind of misfire, crossfire. Social media was just taking off, and Facebook was big, and MySpace was first, and then it went to Facebook, and all these people were telling you how awful it was going to get, and then you're just the world's going to end, and we're not going to have no power. And I started like really stocking. I mean, I was nuts stocking. Now at this time, one of the last 2 was gone, and I only had my youngest son and my grandson. So now I'm down to 2, but I am buying massive stocks of food. I have turned 2 interior closets into pantries, plus my pantry, plus every nook and cranny I could throw something in. I'm not lying to you. I went bonkers. Okay, well, fast forward to 2014, we hit rock bottom. There was no stopping it. We were done. Well, a few months before that, we could see it coming. We're not stupid. We knew we couldn't hold on. We knew it was just falling. And we went looking for a piece of property that we could own or finance, that nobody could take away from us, and that if no other bill got paid, we made that land payment. That's what we did. Well, that first year was the hardest year ever. But we didn't have to worry about having something to eat, because I had went nutso schizo for 2 years before that. And I had enough that when we moved out here, this is probably half of what I had when I moved out here. I realistically probably had 2.5 years worth of shelf-stable food when we moved out here. But that year was so hard. We couldn't spend more than $50 a week on groceries, period. And that $50 also included your basic laundry detergent, dish soap, bath soap. I mean, that $50 was everything, because that's all we had to spend. That was it. You either got it or you did without. So we learned how to make it. And between the pantry that I had and what we did buy, we made it. we made it. That first couple of years was just phenomenally hard. But it got easier, and it got easier, and it got easier, you know, and in 6 years, we got the land paid off. We don't have a bunch of bills, you know, because we deliberately, we cut up every credit card, we cut up, we nothing. If we didn't have the cash in hand to pay for it, we don't get it. I mean, that's done. And so now this pantry is, you know, I've been building it back because we depleted it. I mean, we absolutely, that 2 years, we depleted it. It was down to really low. But we started doing better. And like I said in previous videos, what I would do to keep my stock up is $50 a month. That's it. I took $50 a month out of the bank in cash and I put it in an envelope. Every 6 months, I had $300. And that $300 was absolutely 100% dedicated to backstocking the pantry. That also included laundry detergent, dish soap, everything. But that $300 wasn't our grocery money. That was over and above that I stuck back deliberately to do that with. Fast forward to now. I can no longer put that $50 back. Can't do it. Can't do it. The last time I did a $300 haul for you guys is the last time I could do that. Because now that $50 is eaten up into what it takes to go through the month. Actually, it's taken more than that $50 because you guys know, you go grocery shopping, it hasn't went up that 13% or whatever they are trying to shove down your throat. It's more like 50, 75%. Some things have doubled in price. So you can't, that's gone. I have to do the best that I can do with what I get every month for groceries. And I do try to stay under $300 a month for those groceries, but that's getting hard. And that's eating into my back pantry supply because it's getting so hard. So what we try to do on our channel and what I try to show you in my kitchen is how to make everyday easy, good tasting meals that don't take a lot of time. I mean, you know, eventually I'll start showing you things that you can make like on Saturday to have on Sunday or something like that. But this first couple of years, I just wanted you to see that these are easy, affordable, attainable, good tasting meals, you know, that your kids will eat. Now, there's a caveat to that. If your kids are used to eating processed food, like non-stop processed food, weaning them off of that food into natural food is going to be an uphill battle. An uphill battle. You know, my grandson is a prime example of that. You know, we didn't have to worry about anything when he was, you know, we were set for that first 7 or 8 years of his life. You know, we were set. You know, if he wanted to go, he'd call it sit down restaurant. He'd say, Mama, I want to go to the sit down restaurant. Okay, no problem. And he loved this little seaside restaurant called Riverside Cafe. He could go get a grouper sandwich and he was happy as he could be. Okay, he got to watch the birds. He got to feed the seagulls. He got dinner, you know. Trying to wean him into eating just scratch homemade food was a nightmare. That's where those chicken nuggets came from. The chicken tenders I showed you the other night. That was born of necessity to get, because he loved the chicken nugget. I would buy bags and bags and bags of chicken nuggets because he could grab those, throw them in the oven when he got home from school, set the timer for 15 minutes or 20, whatever it is, and he had an afternoon snack or whatever. Well, that stuff is like so bad for you. I'm sorry, that stuff is just nasty, you know, and I learned a lot from, I went on Atkins. I used to be really, really heavy. I weighed about 60, 70 pounds more than I do now. I got pretty heavy after my last son, and I read everything Atkins ever put out, you know, and a lot of it, and a lot of the reason that people are getting heavy is processed food. It's not because you ate pasta. It is not because you ate rice. It is not because you ate a sweet or a potato. That is not what is causing obesity. Obesity is caused from processed food. You can't get away from that. If you drop that processed food out of your diet, you will start to lose weight. Even if you're eating pasta, even if you're eating rice, it really doesn't matter. And the first thing you need to do is define your personal budget. And don't tell me you can't find the money. We raised our kids in the 80s and 90s when, you know, the interest rates were 12, 13% on a house, about like they are now. All right, so, you know, don't tell me you can't do it. It is possible. You just have to define your budget. And if you're spending a whole lot of money going through drive-thrus or going out to eat, that's a massive amount of food budget right there. You know, to Olive Garden, what is it? That eat a meal, take a meal home. But for a family of 4, you spend almost $200. That's a lot of groceries, okay? That is a lot of groceries. So even if you only cut back, say you go out to eat once a week, you cut that to twice a month. Take that money and go put it in the pantry. You stop at Starbucks every morning? Take that money, put it in an envelope, put it away. That's your grocery money. There are ways to do it. I know because I've done it. All right, now let's get started with what's in my jars and why it's there. Okay, first up, I call that my breakfast shelf. I have oatmeal. There's probably about 6 oatmeal. You know, there's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of the half-gallon. And then when I get down to a little bit, then I just put it in a smaller one. And I don't know if y'all saw that video a long time ago where I told you that I used to only buy Classico spaghetti sauce because it came in regular mason jars. And it said Atlas Mason on the side, and your lids absolutely fit. So I use those all the time. Now you have to be really careful because I don't know what happened, but now the lids will not fit. If it doesn't say Mason Atlas on the jar, if you can't see the words Mason Atlas, then buying that pasta is not going to save you any money in the long run because that jar lid is not going to fit. But the older ones did, so I did that. Now I don't buy spaghetti sauce at all. I just make my own. I mean, I quit buying spaghetti sauce, and after what I had was gone, I just don't buy it anymore. It's easy enough to make and really, really tastes good. You're using fresh ingredients and a can of tomatoes. Simple, easy, costs less than the jar and tastes better. Anyway, there's that. But anyway, oatmeal, grits. We do eat a lot of grits in the wintertime. We really do, for breakfast and supper, or sometimes, you know, in the middle of the day at dinner. So I keep a lot of that. I have 2 different kinds of grits. I have the white grits and the yellow grits. Right? And these are hash browns. And I have found that we actually use about that much at a time for the 2 of us. So I've really started using just the pint and the half pint because that's all we use at a time. And I can keep it sealed. It keeps longer. Anyway, I love dried hash browns. You know, some people have an aversion. And, you know, and if you have an aversion to the dry hash browns, don't stock them. Don't stock them. And my grandkids love pancakes. They come over in the morning, you know, Mama, I want pancakes, pancakes, pancakes. All right, so I keep a couple of pancakes on the shelf. And if you need to see how to make pancake mix, I have Randy can put one of them little cards up there in La La Land or wherever it is and show you how to make it from scratch. I do keep a little bit of cereal. This is Rice Krispies. Just the one jar. I buy one box just in case one kid wants, cereal. Oh, behind it is just extra grits. If I didn't use but 1 or 2 jars, it's not I'm not trying to hang on to stuff for 5 years. I mean, this is what we will eat that I can go through in around a year, or I try to. Some things like, let me find something real quick. On the next shelf is all the pasta. And take this for an example. This ziti is from the best by date was 10/22. So it's been sitting there way past its date. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that pasta. And this is August of 2024. And because I kept it in these jars, I have absolutely no problem with this pasta. In fact, we just had it a couple of nights ago, is why it's got a screw top lid on it, because I didn't feel like resealing it. I'm going to use it because I figured out, that it needs to go. But you always you rotate. Everything up front should have the least amount of date, and everything in the back should have the most amount of date. Like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, these have Best by 12/25. I'm sure by 2025, I should be able to eat that, okay? But you never know, but it's okay if you don't. As long as you have it sealed up good, there's no problem. And another thing, they tell you really need a cellar, or you really need cool, dry, dark, and that is the best. Honestly, that is the best. But I'm standing here and it's probably 95 degrees. This stuff stays out here in this open shed, and I have never had an issue. Never. I have never lost anything that I put in a jar. It still tastes just like it did when I put it in the jar. Even through all this heat, even through the winter cold, you do what you got to do. There's no way in Florida to have a cellar, or a basement, and I couldn't dig a hole big enough because it would fill up with water. I mean, that's just the way it is. So it has to work just like it is. Anyway, it's different kinds of pasta. There's ziti, there's the twisties, the little round ones, macaroni. We actually probably use more macaroni than we do any of the other ones. So obviously I have more macaroni. How did I get all this macaroni? Buy one, get one. Every week, one store or the other will have buy one, get one pasta. I can put 1.5 pounds of pasta in a half-gallon jar. If I paid buy one, get one, $1.50, that's 75 cents a box. 75, half of 75 is, let's say 30, just say it's 35. Okay, so I have $1 worth of pasta in this jar. So the jar costs more than the pasta I put in it. You can really amass a lot of pasta really cheap. Now, as far as spaghetti goes, I've never lost any spaghetti, and I can't put spaghetti in these jars because it won't fit. Unless I break it, it won't fit. And Randy doesn't like broken spaghetti. So it's in a bucket. So I do keep long spaghetti, linguine, anything like that goes in a bucket. And I've never lost any of that. So there's that. What else? I keep these, like I said, these little, it says Atlas Mason, and the lid fits. I just took the Orzo label, cut it up, taped it up, put it on there. Now it looks nice and neat on the shelf, not an issue, and I know what it is. All right, now we'll go to the next shelf. That is mostly grain, mostly grain. All right, I'm sitting down now so I can get down here on the level with this shelf is grains. Now, we're not big grain people. We're not. We eat quite a bit of rice. Every once in a while, I'll make a little quinoa. So I only have like 3 jars of quinoa because Randy doesn't like it and I'm the only one that eats it. So when I find a recipe that I want to try, you know, I don't need but a half a cup of quinoa at a time. I mean, I just don't use it. Barley, same thing. This is all the barley I have because the only thing I use it for is beef and barley soup. That's it. So that's probably still probably about 4 beef and barley soups through the winter, and then I'll buy some more barley. I mean, we just don't use it. That is yellow and white cornmeal. Now, I do use that, and I do have cornmeal in small buckets, like, you know, the small buckets. Nowadays, you hardly can find it plain. It always comes with the hot rise or whatever in it. Well, that hot rise doesn't last after the year. I mean, it really doesn't, and it will cause it to go rancid. So I keep a little bit in a jar, and then one of those little tiny short buckets, I will put a bag or 2, because we do eat a lot of cornbread. I will make cornbread probably 3-4 times a month because I love cornbread. And Jiffy is not real cornbread. Randy thinks that Jiffy is real cornbread, but it's not. Anyway, that's a personal opinion. Anyway, next is beans. I have like lentils, splint peas, Great Northerns, pintos, black eyes, navy, kidney, and big and little lima beans. But I don't have 50-pound bags of anything. Okay, this is what I have. This is what I use. You know, that's a lot of dinners and beans for 2 people. Okay, you don't have to go crazy with beans for them to feed a lot of people. If you only, you know, if you have a family of 4, and this easily is 4 meals of beans for a family of 4. Okay, so for us, that's 8 meals. Well, you know, there's 8 of this, 8 of that, 8 of that. There's 2 meals in here. You know, that's a lot of meals of beans without it being a whole lot of beans. You know, that's why they tell you, you know, that beans are such a prepper food, because they're inexpensive, they don't take up a whole lot of room, and they feed a lot of people. You know, you don't need that many at a time to have a really nice meal. What I do a lot of times is I'll dump this whole thing, but then we'll have black-eyed peas and rice, or black-eyed peas and tomatoes. That's good. Black-eyed peas and fresh tomatoes. Oh, so good. Anyway, we'll eat them for, you know, 2-3 days. Pretty much that's it for that shelf. This shelf, this says MREs. That's not MREs. Those are my dishes. Back when Hurricane Michael came through, everybody lost power for weeks on end, and you could go and they would give you bottled water and MREs. We are not fans of our MREs, so we will never have any more MREs. They're just gross. I don't care who makes them. They're just blech. Anyway, my daughter's husband and my 2 grandsons go hunting, and they took all the MREs that, you know, we opened like, what? We might have opened 2 of one kind and 2 of another, and they both were awful. So we gave them away. But I needed somewhere to put my dishes where they wouldn't get broke, so those were dishes. All right, now I'm standing on a bucket, y'all, okay? That's another good thing for having buckets. You can just slide them around and stand on them. All right, these are my squash that I did a video for you guys to show you how I put up squash. These are my homemade stewed tomatoes, and I've only got like 4 or 5 cans left. And so I do keep canned for when I run out. If I didn't put up enough, I always make sure I have canned tomatoes. Because you can throw anything together if you got a can of tomatoes, I promise. Anyway, these are extras from this shelf. So powdered sugar, I just keep 1 down and 1 up. This sugar, I'm not a fan of white sugar. White sugar is bleached, okay? It's bleached sugar. It says non-GMO, the Domino brand says it's non-GMO, but being non-GMO doesn't make it like good. Anyway, I bought a 25-pound bag at one point when I really couldn't afford to buy the sugar that I really like. I still haven't used it. It stays in these jars. I have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have 4 jars left out of that 25-pound bag. So I probably only used maybe 10 pounds of it so far. And I've had it for years. I don't like it. I use the Zulka sugar. And I guess what you call this is my processed food shelf. And it's mostly condiments, but they're single ingredient condiments. If it's got more than 5 ingredients, I don't buy it. Because there's something in there that you really don't need to be eating. And the more of that stuff you eat, the harder it is for your body to work it off. Anyway, another video, all right? This is just little olive oil spray, some different vinegars. I got balsamic, I got red wine, I have pretty much that's it. You know, I use a little Dale's, Worcestershire. I mean, these are all things you've seen me make in the videos, you know, or condiments that I use inside the videos. Soy sauce, you know, I know there's a big controversy about soy sauce. But Asian people have been living on soy sauce for 1,000 years or something. I mean, it's not that it's bad for you when eaten in moderation. You know, the biggest recipe, the most I've ever used probably is 1/4 cup of soy sauce. And Randy's doctor even told him to like drink a teaspoon of soy sauce to bring his sodium levels up. You know, it's not totally that bad for you. You know, yes, it's soy, but you're not really using enough of it to cause any damage. Okay, now if you're eating soybean, which if you're eating processed foods and things with more than 5 ingredients, you're eating soybeans and soybean oil. Okay, now hot sauce. We like hot sauce, but not quite this much hot sauce. Okay, I forgot that I had some hot sauce. I really did. I forgot. And then they had a BOGO. So I thought, oh, okay. Well, I'll buy 2 BOGOs. So I got 4 bottles of Crystals. I got home and I already had 2, 3, 4. I already had 4 bottles of hot sauce. I won't need to buy hot sauce for another 2 years, at least. You know, you got to remember or keep a list of what you do have so you don't waste money buying things, even if they're BOGO, that you don't really need. So there's a lesson. Same thing, banana peppers, you know, we really like those on pizza. They are so good on a pizza. So, you know, a jar or 2 here and there. Same thing with pepper sauce. You know, these are really pretty good pepper sauces. They only have like 3 ingredients in them. They have the oil the peppers and salt or something, that's doable. This pizza sauce, I probably won't buy it again because I didn't pay attention at the store. I was just thinking Classico generally used to be pretty clean, and I just grabbed it. Not anymore. Then it's got like 10, 15 ingredients, so no, I won't buy it again. But am I gonna throw it away? No, I'm gonna use it. I got it. All right, next up is chili sauce. That's just good to have. And if y'all remember when I did that haul, for whatever reason, Aldi had those for 49 cents a bottle. So I bought like 4. So we've used one, there's one in the fridge, and I got 2 left. Same thing with salsa. I have 3 bottles of salsa. Just in case I don't have everything here at the house, when I decide I want some salsa, I can just grab and go. That over there is that you can't, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's an extra thing of cornstarch. This is all my, well, not all my sweet stuff. We'll get to the other sweet stuff in a minute, but this is mostly what I use for sweetener. I have real Zilka sugar that has no biochar and has not been bleached. I use brown sugar, confectioner sugar, which you can make yourself. I'm fully aware that you can make it yourself. Well, why would you when you don't have to? I mean, it's not like super expensive and it's convenient. You know, there's some convenience is great. I mean, you don't have to make every single thing all the time. So anyway, I buy brown sugar, I buy confectioner sugar, but I don't have a lot. And like I said, you know, about these jars, you just, they don't have to be sealed. Sugar does not have to be sealed. In fact, if you seal sugar and take the air out, you will make a rock, like a real rock that you can't break. So just make sure that when you put sugar away, that it's in something, you know, where it can get air, because it needs air. All right, and like some turbinado sugar, I keep a little of that. Again, with the white sugar, that's still out of a 25-pound bag. I don't know if I'll ever use that. I'll probably give it to my daughter because it's just been sitting there for so long. Karo syrup is not really that great for you. It's Karo syrup or corn syrup. I use it during the holidays, or if I want to make a pecan pie or something. It's not, you know, like I keep two bottles, okay? I'm not trying to set the world on fire and use a whole bunch of, what do they call that? GMO, you know, because you know that is total GMO. But like I said, you know, I use it once, twice, maybe 3 times a year. I don't keep an abundance of it, no big deal. I got raisins, I got the little white raisins, I got the dark raisins. That's for the oatmeal. I have one grandson that when he comes, you know, the other 3 want pancakes. He wants Mama to make him some oatmeal because Mama won't make him any oatmeal. So he'll eat, he just turned 11 and he will eat a whole like 2-quart saucepan full of oatmeal with raisins and cinnamon and brown sugar. He loves it. Okay, so I keep that for him. This is chocolate. This is like maybe 2, I think it's probably 2 boxes of chocolate. And I got that chocolate, buy one, get one at Winn-Dixie. So that whole, or, you know, to there of cocoa powder, I think cost me like $1.79, maybe $2.79. Anyway, it was cheap, so I bought it and I have it. And I do use lots of cocoa during the holidays. Just some pretzels, just cause sometimes you need something sweet and salty. You know, Reddy's doctor said that he was having an issue with not getting enough salt, which I don't understand because I salt everything. Y'all know I live off, you know, we use a lot of salt when I cook. And then sometimes he'll salt it again, but he still came up with a low salt level. So I got some pretzels for that. I always keep lemon juice because I do a lot of preserving, and a lot of times, you know, almost all your fruit recipes for jams and jellies and stuff, you need some lemon juice. So I keep that. And it has a really long shelf life. So, you know, I got one in the fridge and then that one, and that's all I keep. It's not a, you know, I'm not going crazy. It's not a, you know, my pantry now is set for 2 people. It really is. On this side, we have peanut butter. Y'all remember in my last haul, I got this peanut butter. It was like $2.99. Anyway, I have like 6 or 7 jars of peanut butter and 1 jar of cashew butter. Okay, next to the peanut butter is mustard. We're mustard people. And all this mustard was buy one, get one. You know, some store somewhere, like these are from Winn-Dixie. That's Dijon. These, maybe Trader Joe or somewhere, I don't know. Anyway, they're stone ground. That's stone ground from, now that wasn't BOGO, that was great value, so that one don't count. Golden, spicy brown, and honey mustard. Anyway, BOGO's the way to go. Just pick them up, how many ever you think you'll use. They're not expensive, and they just add a lot of flavor to a lot of stuff. And here's some more baking stuff to go, you know, with the sugar. I got the sugar, and then I got flour. This is all-purpose. I use way more all-purpose than I do self-rising. I do keep that in a bucket. I keep this in this, and then the difference between this and the 25-pound bag I buy, I keep that in a bucket. But I never have more than 25 pounds at a time, ever, because we don't need it. I keep a little bit of evaporated milk for recipes and just in case I run out or something. A little bit of condensed. There's like 3 condensed and 4 of those. Nothing extravagant. And if y'all watched our older videos, you know I used to keep the self-rising and the all-purpose in these kind of jars. But we had that coon issue, and he ate the lid off of my all-purpose, so now I put it in a bucket. That's why the bucket's there. And this shelf here is all that I have left of last year's canning. This year's canning is somewhere else. The stuff that I showed you that I made this year is not in here. It's actually in the under the RV because I'm running out of room. But this is the stuff that I need to use first. And it's like, which one is this? This is bread and butter pickles. This is the celery soup I did. That's Christmas pickles, cowboy candy, pickled peppers. These are the golden cucumber relish. I think I'm pretty sure I did a video on that one. Zucchini relish, caramelized onions. But anyway, that's all I have left of those things. You know, and I put up like a dozen of each or so, but that's what it's whittled down to. And that's what needs to go first. And then all that over there is jams and jellies. There's like 2 of this, 2 of that, 3 of that, you know, where I put up the plum and apricot, the beauty berries. So what all did I put? I put up blueberry, nectarine, goodness gracious, plum, apricot, whatever. Anyway, that's what's left over there, and those are the ones that need to get used first, and then I will pull out what I did this year, and it will go in there. Okay, and these were the most awesome find. These are old dressers that came from a hotel when they went to renovate. These are super heavy duty. They're not wood, they're metal. They weigh like somewhere around 180 pounds a piece. That you should have seen us trying to stack this thing, but we got it. They are awesome. Nothing can get to your lids. You know, I mean, I used to try to keep canned goods on the shelf, and they would get rusted, and the labels would kind of peel off, and it was really hard. So These were $30 a piece, or if you bought more than 3, they were $20 a piece. So my daughter and I went in together and bought 5. She kept 2 and I kept 3. One I keep towels and linens and stuff in the shower house, and these 2 keep all my canned goods separated and dry and out of the way. So this one has, you know, like vegetable soup, vegetable broth that I make my own vegetable broth and I keep it in the freezer. But if I run out, I still have it. You know, I'm a firm believer in doubling up. If I make it myself, great. I will use that first until that gets close to date, and then I will use that before I use mine. If that makes sense. This one has mixed vegetables, corn, whole kernel corn, and sweet corn. This one up here has green beans and something. There's green beans on one side and something, I don't know. And wait, that's the one I just opened. And this one has like 4 cans of Ocean Spray cranberry sauce. You don't use a lot of it. Mostly it's during the holidays. But when I do a roast chicken or a baked chicken, I really like cranberry sauce with it. So I keep a few extra because sometimes during the rest of the year, you can't find them. This is what happens when you leave something on a shelf out here in the deep woods in North Florida where humidity is king. The labels got just totally soaking wet and started to peel off. So anyway, I just peeled them off and wrote carrots on the top. You know, they are carrots, and I don't have to worry about them now because I got them put away. I mean, this really is a great storage solution, or it was for us. And you know, you could even do this in a spare closet. You know, just stick a dresser in there, and then, you know, if you're better at organization than me, you can label them. I got this and this and this. You know, me, I have to remember which one or just open them all. But like I bought, in my last haul, I bought those stewed tomatoes. I bought 12 cans, you know, and that's all I have of that. I have like 4 cans of fire roasted diced. You know, I don't keep a tremendous amount of canned goods because we really prefer to eat fresh. But if I don't have it and I'm not going to the store, I still have it. And it doesn't cost a lot of money to do it like this. You know, it truly, truly doesn't. And if you can catch BOGOs on cans, buy the whole case. That means you only paid for a half a case. That is a deal breaker right there. You can really stock up when you do the BOGOs. And these are my buckets. These are really tall chlorine buckets. These are icing buckets from Walmart. And I have some regular, like, these kind right here with the gamma lids from Tractor Supply. Okay, those really big chlorine buckets, 3 of those are 1 25-pound bag of bread flour, 1 all-purpose, and 1 self-rising. That is more than a year for Randy and I, and that's all we need. There is no point in me storing wheat berries. I do make my own bread. I do make my own pizza dough, but 25 pounds of flour is a lot of flour. And for the 2 of us, that is a year's worth. And I don't feel the need to stock wheat berries. Okay? I mean, if you do and you have a cellar or a basement and you have lots of room where you can keep it cool, nice, dry, all those things, then wonderful. But I think if I opened a bucket of that, I would end up with mold. I mean, so that's all I do. I just keep what we use. All right, and then the smaller buckets, these little buckets, the icing buckets from Walmart, these just have, like, this one has jasmine rice in it. We like jasmine rice. And I didn't used to store rice like this. I only kept it in the jars because there was only, there is only the two of us, and we really, 1 cup of rice is a meal. No matter what I'm cooking, 1 cup of rice is a meal. So really, I don't need more than that. But if y'all remember in like 2022, it's all going to double in price. We're having shortages. You're not going to find any rice. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? So when my squirrely brain starts working and I can't get it and I need it and my grandkids will eat it, I backstocked it. So I have a ton of rice. In fact, I told my daughter the other day she needed to come get a bucket of rice just so we could use it up because I went nutty, nutty, nutty. But that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. You live and you learn. Rice hasn't went up that much. It has gone up, yes, but not like they said. This is, like I said, cornmeal. That's only a 5-pound bag. That's all that's in there because that's all I'll use at a time before the powder or before the baking powder goes bad. This one is sugar. Now, I do keep a lot of sugar. Every time I go to the store, I buy sugar because I can. And you need sugar and you need vinegar. Those two things you cannot can. Fruits or any kind of relishes or anything like that. You have to have sugar and you have to have vinegar. So I keep lots and lots of sugar and I keep lots and lots of vinegar, apple cider and regular vinegar. Pretty much that's what's in all of these. Because like I said, I went nutty, and a whole bunch of them have rice in it. And then I do on purpose keep lots of sugar. I probably have, I may have 200-300 pounds of sugar just so I don't ever run out of sugar. And it does keep going up. They should have warned us about sugar more so than rice because that Zolka sugar used to be like in 2020, it was $4 for an 8-pound bag. And now it's almost $9 for that same 8-pound bag. It's ridiculous. So it did almost double. And I would have done better with my money buying the sugar back then versus the rice. And last, but definitely not least, is my spice rack, which I keep right here, right by the stove, where I can see it, grab it. These little Lazy Susans are the best things ever. You line your spices up, and the way I do it is I put, the herbs or spices on one, herbs on one, and then a mishmash of things that I make or things that you don't hardly ever use, like cinnamon sticks. That's, I might use cinnamon sticks twice a year. I don't need but one little pack of cinnamon sticks. You don't need to backstock things that you don't use all the time. But things like thyme, oregano, basil, those I use on a really consistent basis. Those I keep in the little thing, but I buy them in bulk. I will buy those in bulk. And one company that I really, really do like is on Amazon. They're called Marshall's Creek Spices. You can find anything on there, and and they list them as whether they're GMO or non-GMO or organic, or if they have caking. They're really good about telling you exactly what's in their packaging, and I really do like them. So I have like their Hungarian sweet pepper, because that's really hard to find in grocery stores. It truly is hard. You can find sweet or smoked paprika, but for it to actually say Hungarian pepper, around here you can't find it. The Saison has absolutely no MSG. It says right on the label there's no MSG. No, it tells you exactly what's in there. Same thing with the Garam Masala. Tells you exactly what's in there, and there's no MSG. You know, I use a lot of garlic, either whole garlic fresh or minced, but I keep a wide variety of some way to keep garlic. Same thing with onion. I keep minced onion, I keep whole onions, and I keep dry onions in bulk because I go through a lot of that. You know, I can go through most of these in a year. Like the turmeric, not so much. And I probably won't get another big thing of turmeric like this again because I've realized I probably only use, I don't know, maybe 2.5 of these a year. That's a lot. So I'm just going to buy these just like this, just because that's all I need, and to keep it fresh and have it not go, you know, it's not that it goes bad, but it loses flavor. So yeah, I'll just buy it like this instead of like this after this is gone. Am I going to throw that away? No, I'm not. It's still good. All right. And then you have, you know, things like this, like Tony Treacher's. And this used to be really good, and I used to use it quite often. But, you know, as time goes on and stuff gets cheaper and cheaper. Anyway, I bet this is 75% salt now. You try to use this, and there's really, I just soon make my own Creole seasoning. It's not worth it to me. I'm not going to throw it away, but I rarely use it because it just doesn't do the job anymore. It's just salt. These are my sweeteners that are not sugar. You know, I got honey, and I have molasses, and I have cane syrup. Just because you can't have enough of different kinds of sugar or sweetener. These are extracts. And these are the best little things. And I actually found these, most of these I bought all at one time because they were buy one, get one. Winn-Dixie had a sale on their extracts that were buy one, get one. So it ended up, they were like $2 or $3 a piece instead of 5 something a piece. So watch for those sales, because I mean, who would have thought they would have put extracts, buy one, get one? But they did. So now I have maple and rum and orange and peppermint and butter. Orange. Anyway, lots of extracts. When you're baking during the holidays, Easter or Christmas or Thanksgiving, you can take a simple recipe and just add a half or a teaspoon of extract, totally change the flavor of something and make it better than it's ever been. You can, like sweet potatoes, oh my gosh, put a little butter and rum flavor in those sweet potatoes. Ah, you hadn't had anything so good. It's great. So always have you a little bit of something to make something different and better. It's just, and for a very little bit of money. I keep kitchen bouquet because it makes pretty gravy, and you know, it's like a half a teaspoon or something, and you make the prettiest brown gravy ever. Liquid smoke. And then these are my cornstarch, baking powder, and baking soda. That salt, you can never have too much salt and different kinds of salt. This one is gray sea salt. I've probably had this 2 or 3 years now, but I only use it, you know, when recipes call for some, you know, some kind of odd, crazy salt. I'll have it because I have like all kinds of salt. But if you watch our videos, I'm a tried and true kosher person. Kosher is, and out here where it's so humid, do you see the difference? This is real unrefined salt. It collects water. And sometimes I'll have to like really beat it to get it loose. For some reason, The kosher salt doesn't do that. It stays loose all the time. But sea salt, watch this. I'm going out of camera, but the sea salt's over there. Same thing. See, it's starting to clump because it doesn't. And you got to really shake it to get it to, yeah, like that. But you should always have salt. That's like the sugar where I keep, you know, a couple 100 pounds of sugar. Same thing with, I don't keep a couple 100 pounds of salt, no. But I do keep between 30 and 50 pounds all the time, because you cannot live without salt. Salt is something that you absolutely, your body has to have. You cannot live without salt. You know, Randy's doctor's telling him to drink the soy sauce to get extra salt. Okay, so that is a life-giving, gotta have it. You know, and you know, through all of time, salt was money. I mean, that's where your salary comes from, is from salt. So, gotta have that. But that stays inside the RV. Like I said, I have to keep that where it won't kind of do that. You know, I keep just enough out here to use while I'm cooking. The rest of it is all put away inside the RV where it's kind of climate controlled. Pepper is another one. I buy pepper, and then I don't have one right now because this is the last of the pepper out of one of these. So the next time I go out, since that's all I got left, I will pick up one of these. But that's probably 2 years worth of pepper. You know, and I keep pepper, here we go. And I keep peppercorns because Randy loves to like sprinkle fresh peppercorn on it. So I just buy these that have the little, well, somehow or other, the little poppy top. I can't get it off. Anyway, the little poppy top, and you just right over your food, you get that fresh little burst of pepper. I keep those. I probably keep 2 or 3 of these, and then 1 of those, and then that's at least a couple years worth of pepper. And I won't have to worry about having it or needing it because I have it already. Anyway, there's that. This was a little overkill. These are bay leaves. And they came in one of these, you know, it was this size, and it fit in that quart jar. And I do try to keep that closed up because they'll probably lose their flavor long before I use all those bay leaves. I probably won't do that again. But the little packs, like the Badia, like you can buy these. You know, you buy these little like Badia packs. They only have 5 or 6 leaves in them for like 86 cents. So this was, you know, as far as money goes, this was a better deal because it was only like $7 for that whole big thing. And this, you know, these are now like $1 a piece or something. And this one happens to be rosemary, which I don't buy anymore because I have my own, I'm growing rosemary, and that plant puts out more than enough rosemary. I could actually dehydrate it myself, but it grows year round and I don't have to do that. If I want it, I just go out there and snip it. But I have a backup. I have backups for backups. Pretty much. Oh, and this is my, yeah. This is my onion soup mix. I keep onion soup mix because I use that stuff for lots and lots and lots of stuff. It makes onion gravy. Excuse me. It makes onion gravy. It makes, you know, perfect pork chops. It makes great chicken. Yeah, I just use that stuff for everything. Randy can leave one of those cards for that too, because that is really, really good. And then I have beef and chicken bouillon, because you can never have too much chicken and beef bouillon. You know, yeah, they do. They add a lot of salt now. It's not like it used to be. It does have quite a bit of salt in it, but it beats trying to put up can after can after can after can of chicken and beef broth. That gets to be a lot. And I tried to do that, but it's just, it's really not worth it. To me, personally, it's not worth it. Yes, I can chicken broth, and yes, I can, but when I run out, I just use that. It's do the same job. All right, y'all, that's about it. My throat hurts. I haven't made a video this long, probably ever. But if I left something out, or you have any questions, or something didn't sound right to you or whatever, leave a comment, and like, subscribe, share, and come back and see me in the next video. Bye.